to get ahead of ourselves. An early touch here for Jurrien Timber, who has kept his place. No Matthijs de Ligt after a wobbly performance first time out. And Virgil van Dijk going direct. Memphis Depay in his first World Cup 22 start. He's been used as a substitute in the last couple of matches, Ali.
Yeah, and it's a good look early on. There is that space in behind the back line of Qatar, and you want to threaten in there as well, just because you're going to create more space in between the lines for some of your creative players to get on it.
Once again for Qatar, it is a back three or a back.
It is loud in the stadium tonight. Senegal fans got here early, but the Ecuadorian fans loud as well. Sabali plays it back. Koulibaly is their captain. Upfield it comes. Stripped to the ball there. Gruezo for Ecuador. Going long, left sideline. That's Valencia. Tackled out.
And this is where Ecuador can make you pay very quickly. All the looks. The first look is always going to be to Valencia to see if they can spring him to go 1v1, and then that support is coming. For Ecuador, you see a lot of play by the outside backs with Estupinian getting forward, Preciado on that right side getting forward. They give the width and also give a lot of the flank play and getting crosses into the box.
Far side, it's going back deep in Senegal's territory, and it's going to be let out by Diallo. Gustavo Alfaro, an Argentinian, head coach of this team since 2020 for Ecuador, used to coach Boca Juniors. He's got his team where he wants them. It's in their hands, it's in their feet. They control this. Draw or a win, they're through.
Yeah, that's all you can ask for when it comes down, to a World Cup, the last game.
Gay's pass in front. Quick shot taken, and that could have been the first goal of this game. Risa Gay.
Now this is a great play. The attack comes down the left flank. The cross goes through. There's a couple players that can't get to it. And then you see Gay picks this up. I thought he was going to hit it first time, JP, but he elects to try to get a bit more separation from the defender, but it takes him too far out of reach of that goal, and he can't put it back on target.
Gay is one of the players to watch. This is his 99th appearance for his country. No one has hit 100. He can get that in this World Cup if they advance to the round of 16. Long clearance from Ecuador. Valencia couldn't control it. Taken away on that far side. Cease. Goalkeeper's coming out. He's got to win this ball, and does. Now he has to boot it out, but the flag was up anyway. Offside.
Yeah, it was one of those plays by the assistant referee where he allows the play to continue. And I think he's going to be in a pretty good offside position. Yeah, maybe about half a yard, actually. The referee allows the play to continue, and then it's just a little bit of a track meet, over there to see who's going to get it to it first, as Galindez has to go to ground to make that tackle.
But he won it cleanly. So a nice job by Galindez. His third start of this World Cup. He's allowed one goal, had one shutout earlier. Shutout was against Qatar in game 1. Valencia. Pushed back by Caicedo. Put up by Franco. Senegal with a pick. Nothing was going forward, so it's pushed back and then finally lost out of play by Dia, who scored in that last game. Their first goal. That is Aliou Cissé, 46-year-old head coach since 2015. Former player in both France and England, has played at the World Cup level. Koulibaly back to goal. That's an awkward ball back, but Mendy saved it from becoming a corner. It's still a throw-in. Mendy rebounded from a rough first game to play well in the second versus Qatar.
And that's so important when you talk about a goalkeeper and you talk about an experienced player, you know, playing at the highest levels, playing at Chelsea. You have to have that ability to bounce back, not letting one game determine how your next game is going to be. And Mendy came through strong in the second match versus Qatar.
Koulibaly to the right. Sabali. In the eye. Playing it in front. Knocked away, but back to goal. And Galindez due to injury, but they're starting to pick up the pace offensively. They just haven't been finishing. They did much better in the second game, but Kobe, they've generated so many shots, double digits in corners in the two games.
And that's what's important when you look at the end result in the game against Netherlands. They were actually creating many chances, looking good until a couple of mistakes late on in the game by Mendy. And then all of a sudden they find themselves down 2-0, and that's where we talk about the World Cup and how it's so important to be precise.
It falls towards Valencia, and it's a good thing Sabali and Diallo cut it off. All Valencia really needs is a half chance, not even a full chance to make something happen. And foul at the other end. Senegal's ball. Lost to the Netherlands in game one, beat Qatar last Friday. As for Ecuador, a win over Qatar in the first game, an exciting 1-1 draw versus the Dutch side last Friday. Netherlands game going on as we speak versus Qatar. Koulibaly. Headed down, Senegal keeps it. Sabali's pass in front, but shot wide. It was there for Dia. They've had two good looks so far, Kobe.
Two very good looks, and Dia on this play does something very special here. As you watch Dia, he sees where the ball is, he just holds his run enough. It's that little step to the side and back to make sure that he's in an onside position. The ball steps up, gets played to him, but he just pulls this. Doesn't go direct, pushes it wide, and that's going to be frustrating for Dia. But already, as you said, JP, a couple of good opportunities early on in this match. And that's what you want from your striker, is being the threat. This is a message already to the Ecuadorian back line that you have to be aware where Dia is at all times.
Senegal back with the ball. Ecuador with a win or a draw can advance. Senegal needs to win. Foul in the center of the field. Free kick coming up for Ecuador. And Valencia is putting it down. Scored 3 goals. The last 3 that they scored at the 2014 World Cup. He scored all 3 here.
Now this is pretty far out. And you have Valencia just standing over the ball. He's getting the stepping back for that long run up.
Yep.
I mean, if you're hot and you're feeling hot, why not? Go for it.
It's beyond 35 yards out.
No one's going to tell him not to, right?
No. Valencia's strike. It's off the wall. Control, though, by Ecuador. They try to play it back out. Valencia's shot blocked as well. And now it falls to Mendy.
Maybe that second chance from Valencia was looking more dangerous to me than initial shot.
Was.
During the run of play, a lot of traffic in front of Mendy.
Ball is played across. Well, there were players open. Clear it out for another corner from the opposite side.
I'll tell you this. Ndiaye here on the right wing gets played into space. This is the second time that he has gotten behind the back line of Ecuador and played a dangerous ball into space. Now it's just about some of his teammates getting into the right area to put the ball in the back of the net. Now you know he's got the space.
Ball played across, punched up by Galindez. Settle there. Quick shot taken is blocked as well. It was offside. From that far side, Gay with the attempted cross that's denied. And then cleared back into the Senegal half where Mendy takes over. Diallo. Back for Mendy. Headed towards Dia. Galindez was coming out, changed his mind. Senegal try to recycle that ball. They'll try again as it'll be pushed back. Sent all the way across.
Nice ball.
Sabali. Flicked in. That's blocked as well. Indaye with a shot. Curling ball was wide. He's one of the changes, one of the 3 changes that they made, and that looks like a good change at the start.
A very good change. Indaye just touches this one inside. The defensive pressure very lax right now over these first 10 to 11 minutes coming from Ecuador. They seem a little bit slow, while you see Senegal seems to be on the front foot. They're pushing the pace of the game. Now, as we've seen in many matches, JP, it's not going to matter unless they put the ball in the back of the net.
Scoreless here. Live standings have the Netherlands on top, but their game is scoreless as well with Qatar. They have the same goal differential as Ecuador. Ball comes back to goal to Galindez. Estupinian plays for Brighton. Slows it down. That's the return ball. Capier squares it. Headed away by Sabali. Inside the circle. They were too tentative there. Caicedo's pass. Here's Ecuador in the breakout on the right side. Played into the box. Valencia late to the party. And then that ball is going to be just caught by Mendy. On the toss to the right, Sabali plays for Real Betis in La Liga. Works it to the right. India keeps possession. Gay, number 5, in the white of Senegal. Pushed wide to the far side by Papa Gay. Inside the area, stopped easily. No angle there. And Galindez covers up.
Here's a good look at just the formation of how the Senegalese team is attacking. You can see that they're spaced out pretty well all the way through, and it's leaving a lot of space for players to run through. Be it Gay, be it Dia, be it India, a variety of players that are looking very mobile right now for Senegal up front.
The clearance by Galindez. Looked like a push there, and that foul was called, in fact. Ramon Pablano. Koulibaly's pass to the circle. Cease. Intended for Sabali. That's going to go out. Final matches in Group B will follow this match. England-Wales is on FS1. Iran-USA on Fox. Coverage begins immediately following the conclusion of this match. The much talked about game, Kobe. Obviously, the U.S. advances only with a win.
Well, it's one of those situations. It's very similar to Senegal here. Win and you're in. You know, that's the the most important thing. And like I said here, it's the same for the U.S. If you get in a situation like this before the World Cup, said, hey, you win one game, you know, against Iran, and you're in, would you take that? And I believe the U.S. would say yes.
Yes. Diallo works it left. Jacobs pass into the middle. Idrissa Gueye getting closer to goal. Plays it in front. And so much power on it. Tough to bring that one down. Sarr was after it. '17th minute. If this result stands, Ecuador would be advancing because all they need is a draw.
And that's something to remember throughout this match. And when you're talking, and we'll talk about this quite a bit, the last match in the group stage, there's so many different tactics that go into the coach's style of play, of who he's playing, how they want to go. That's what part of the reason why you see Senegal pushing the pace, making some changes, especially on the attacking side, getting players involved that will probably take some more chances going forward, as opposed to Ecuador that's, okay, if this is a tie, they're fine with it. So they're playing a little bit more steady.
Tracking back. And it's going to go out of play. Ruled a corner. Thought Capier might have done better with that. Instead, the corner's conceded. Jacobs will take it. 14 in the white of Senegal. French referee Turpin having some conversations with a few players, including Felix Torres and Diallo.
Like I always say, JP, there's a lot going on in there. Stomping, pushing, holding, grabbing.
Jacobs now ready. Right to the middle. Galinda's got both fists on it. Senegal allowed that ball to bounce. That's a tough landing. Here comes Ecuador on the right. 3 on the attack. Senegal players coming back to defend, collect it, and try to go upfield, but the foul will be in their favor. Free kick for Senegal. It's a good pace to this one. The energy from the crowd, fantastic. Diallo's ready on this free kick.
Well, there's a constant beat going on, JP, right near us over here.
It started, what, 45 minutes before the game?
Yes, indeed.
Big collision there. Preciado went down. Sarr gets called.
Yeah, and this is a poor touch from Sarr as it comes back off of that left knee and allows Preciado to step in, and he reaches out and grabs. It's a tactical foul. He doesn't want to allow Preciado to just go bomb beyond him into space, so it's the reach, it's the grab. And I think Ismaila Sarr's got to be a little bit thankful that he doesn't get more than just the foul called.
Be adding some time on to this first half. Meanwhile, Valencia getting some words from his coach, Gustavo Alfaro. In the round of 16, the winner of this group will take on the second-place team in Group B. Whoever finishes second here, and it could be Ecuador in either one of these places, would take on the first-place team in B. So you're looking at the group that's England, Iran, USA, and Wales, and who knows how that group is going to finish. We'll know tonight. Can't wait to see it. USA versus Iran. It's the most talked about game in a long time. Remember how we were touting USA versus England? That was nothing. No offense. That was nothing compared to this, right? Because that was earlier in the tournament. This is win and you advance, lose and you go home.
Yeah, we can just see the contact here on this play. But getting back to what you said, JP, it's true. And that's the nature of the World Cup, and that's the nature of tournaments. The game you're at, the next one, oh, it's amazing and it's big, but the farther you go, wait a second, this one's bigger.
Yeah,
wait, this one's bigger.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to continue like that for the U.S. as they continue within this tourney.
You were right on the money. This looked more serious than at first looked. Let's hope he can shake it off. As he walks it off. Takes in Mendez, who has been a starter, not playing tonight due to a suspension. He had a couple of yellow cards. In this game, only Moises Caicedo is on a yellow. There are 5 Senegal players on yellow cards, so they got to be careful. One of them is gay, and they can't afford to be advancing, losing some of their best players. Diaz, another one that's on a yellow. All played long. That time again will be added on. We've seen a lot of that in this World Cup. Double-digit numbers in stoppage time as that ball is cleared out. Throw in there for Ecuador. To Torres. Plays for Santos Laguna. And Campier will get it back in his own half. Moises Caicedo in Campier. Galindez. 23rd minute, scoreless. The better chances, though, have come from Senegal. They've just missed the target. They'll try that right flank. Estrada was waiting for the ball, but it was nowhere near him. Netherlands and Qatar also scoreless around the same juncture. Simultaneous kickoffs now in all the groups in the 3rd match day. Here's Senegal on the ball. Working it right. Sabali, 21, pushing it. A bump there, that's Dia. He missed on an earlier chance. Taken down, no foul given. Chase is on there. Senegal keeps it in play on the sideline, but now it's taken over. Stupinian. Campier. Back to goal. Galindez clears it. Off Gruezo. Preciado. That's Sarr with him. No foul call there. Sarr takes off into the box. Sarr looking, shooting! Looked good, but it left his right foot. He was claiming deflection, and apparently that's the case. It's a corner.
Yeah, and as this ball goes out, we saw Preciado be a little bit injured, and he just goes down awkwardly once again, maybe feeling a little bit unsteady. And Sarr here just takes it inside, puts it on that right foot. This is a great shot. Watch this all of a sudden just dip right down, but just over the bar. So a good look and effort from Sarr. And for this side, we're seeing a lot of individual effort right now from Senegal that is paying off with opportunities.
Jacobs corner, back post, punched away again by Galindez. Low shot is blocked. Jacobs cross inside, headed up. Galindez has it. He's been able to get some big saves, both fists on the ball. Very confident goalkeeper from what we've seen tonight.
Yeah, Galindez is confident on coming off of his line. He hasn't been obstructed at all. He's gotten probably 2 or 3 crosses with both fists and cleared it out. So for Senegal, they've got to decide, okay, how are we going to make our crosses more dangerous? We're going to pull them out a little bit more. We're going to go to the back post, because right now those ones that are dropping like in the mid area, you know, right now Galindez has picked off every one of them.
And Campier holds there. Right back to Galindez. His club side is Aukus. Campier plays in the Bundesliga with Bayer Leverkusen. Scoreless in this game, scoreless in the other game in Group A, Netherlands, Qatar. Estupinian going wide, looking for an option or two. The ball was lost out, but it still belongs to Ecuador. Just told that Gakpo has scored for the Netherlands. Had an earlier great goal in this tournament. So maybe the Dutch are off and running. It was scoreless for over 20 some odd minutes. Qatar with nothing to play for other than pride, and you want to win a game at the World Cup. But they were the first nation to lose their first game and first two as a host nation.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, JP. Pride is very important to play for. So
yeah,
regardless of where they are as far as not moving on, there's still going to be that sense of, hey, can we get some goals? Can we get a victory?
Plata's pass in the box is denied. And that foul was whistled there.
JP, I've been in that position before where there's nothing to play for, but when you're on that field, you know what you're still representing. You're representing your country.
Yep.
You want to, at the very least, go out with a good showing, and then personally, individually, you know, have great memories of that cup. So for players, playing well in a game is so important.
Qatar's in that category. Canada will play Morocco later this week. They're also in that category. They're also looking for their first ever World Cup win. They got their first ever World Cup goal the other night on Alphonso Davies' header. But then they lost to Croatia, who looked very good. That's going to be a big game. Croatia-Belgium as the closeout to that group.
That's going to be a battle.
Yeah, big games the next few days here on Fox.
It really looks like two teams going in different directions, though. Belgium side that seems to have some issues, you know, going on and difficulties. Well, Croatia just growing, like we talked about, growing into the tournament.
Sabali, 3 players are down. No foul on anyone.
It's like a wrestling match over there.
Yeah. Game will push it across. Sent into the box. A slight flick there, not much on it, so an easy play for Galindez.
Well, there's a nice ball in from Sar, and Indie's trying to sneak it on take that inside track and trying to get beyond Estupinian, but you know, just the angle of it not good enough where he can actually redirect it with his foot. So good coverage by Estupinian just to see it out.
Moises Caicedo's pass ahead. Valencia has not seen a lot of the ball so far. And that's good if you're a Senegal fan, that's for sure.
Yeah, if you're Senegal, you're happy with that. I think one of the reasons that, you know, Inter Valencia isn't seeing the ball is the positioning of number 11 on Senegal sees in the middle. If you pay attention to Valencia in his previous matches, he was dropping into the midfield in that central type of area, receiving the ball and then passing it on. Is he sitting there in that central position? It's not working out so well.
Players are battling there. Another whistle, another foul. Infraction. Either side, Kobe have an advantage to you?
I think Senegal has been a little bit of the better team, but overall it's pretty even on the matchup. A lot of the game has been played between the 18s.
Koulibaly almost stripped of the ball. He does well not to let front the middle. Gruezo, who used to play with FC Dallas in Major League Soccer, it's played back. In Capier, Estupinian. try to push it up. That's blocked. Ndiaye. That's blocked. Out for goal kick. For a wrap-up of all the World Cup highlights, special guests, in-depth insight, World Cup tonight, Kate Abdel Moadou, Chad Ochocinco giving us his fan experience nightly, midnight on Fox. 32nd minute. This one is scoreless. The other game, Netherlands up over Qatar. So if these results hold, Netherlands would finish first in the group, and Ecuador would finish second. But we're a long way for the finish in both of these games. Plata laid off. Hincapié, Estupinian. Back in Ecuador's half. Gruezo has dropped back. Caicedo out wide. Preciado.
When Gruezo drops back like this on the buildup, that's allowing the two outside backs for Ecuador to push higher up the field. That's why you see Estupinian here receiving the ball. You saw Preciado on that far side stepping up.
He was wide open on the other side. It's played into the middle. Koulibaly heads it over. Sabali. Right side. Out of play. It's intended for Dia. Dia scored 3 goals in his last 6 international appearances. Koulibaly defense. Well done, but Valencia's hurting. We mentioned both knees. It was the right knee in the last game. He had ice on it when he was taken out.
Well, that's a nice tackle. Koulibaly goes down.
Glad he bounced back up, though, Valencia, quickly.
I kind of felt that it might have been a little bit more, on that one, because he goes down. And as we saw in that play, it wasn't too much contact there.
Mendy in goal. The clearance by Senegal. Past the halfway line, it's going to go out. There was a collision between a couple of players, including Jacobs. Enter Valencia trying to lead Ecuador into the round of 16. Literally carrying his teammates on his back, scoring all the goals.
Well, that's what he's supposed to do, you know? He's a striker. I'm sure he would like a little bit of help here.
Torres gave it away too easily in the middle of the park, but Valencia will take it over. Estupinian, nowhere to go on that sideline. Sabali had him covered. Throw-in coming up. This result favors Ecuador. A draw gets them through. Senegal must win. They were frustrated in the last World Cup, Kobe. Thought they could have gone in, but the result in the last game against Colombia didn't go their way. They finished in a dead heat with Japan, and all the tiebreakers lost on fair play, which was a first time ever at a World Cup. So basically, they had more yellow cards than Japan did, and they did not advance.
I think that's got to probably be the harshest way that you could go out of a World Cup.
Ball played in. Oh, Galindez almost got caught. Makes a nice recovery.
This is a nice little chip over the top. Gio's just trying to time it once again. A little bit of a miscommunication there, going on in the back.
On that left side, Estrada fights for the ball. Fights too much. Sabali. Still going. doubled up. Foul on Ecuador. Free kick, Senegal.
See, it's just the push that comes in after the fact from Estupiñán. I think Ecuador's understanding a lot of the success for Senegal comes down that right flank. Koulibaly gets forward into space, so Estupiñán and also Valencia. We saw Valencia dropping back to help out defensively.
36th minute. Zeros on the board in this game. Netherlands up over Qatar 1-0 in the other Group A match. Left there for Jacobs. Curling ball to the middle. Headed over. Close call.
A little bit of a stutter to see if there's any type of trap going on. The ball comes in late. Cease gets on the end of it. It gets just too much of his head on it. Gets underneath it rather than redirecting it. It just goes up and over on the goal. And I believe, you know, looking at it, I think Galindez has that one covered easily.
Cease, one of the 3 changes made in the starting 11 for Senegal. Diallo, his side of the halfway line, moving it ahead. Pop Gay on the wing, got it into the middle. Senegal fighting. That was an ill-fated pass, but it's recovered. Well done. Koulibaly got it forward. Looks to get a return ball. Took himself out of the play. Now he's in. Koulibaly couldn't get the shot off. Cleared out. Throw in Senegal.
And there's that pressure once again coming from Koulibaly on that right side. He's going to push forward as much as possible to try to join into that attack.
Gay from, that was from Sarr. That's easily stopped by Galindez. Ball was cleared out because of an injury. Some more time will be added to the first half clock. Moises Caicedo.
There's a tough tackle, you know, coming in here, but I see this one. The ball just steps on the ball a little bit, catches Caicedo as well.
Headed towards the latter stages of this half. Ecuador advances with just a draw. Senegal have to win this game, much like the U.S. have to win in their later game later tonight here in Qatar, afternoon in the U.S. But the U.S. has to beat Iran in order to get to the round of 16. Iran can advance, probably with just a draw.
Yeah, and once again, that's the benefit, you know, of getting a win earlier on within the group stage. You know, the United States was not able to do that. So it's a little bit more of a difficult situation for them, but they have to be confident, you know, going into the last match. You have to be confident as a team, you know, going forward that you can be successful.
Yeah, in the studio, Kelly Smith had said earlier, play the game, not the occasion. Profound words.
Yeah, I like it. It's so true. You know, as a player, you can't think about everything that's surrounding the match. That's why coaches try to have their teams in concentration, you know, so all the outside distractions, you know, don't bother the players, you know, so you can focus solely on the match, and especially those 11 players that are going to be starting and on the pitch. Concentrate on the game, not everything else surrounding it.
Game has resumed. Caicedo's apparently okay. And Galindez will put the ball back into play for Ecuador. Galindez played 3 games in the 2021 Copa America as that ball is cleared up. This is cleared away. 41st minute. 0 still on the board. Flag is up from the assistant referee on this near side. Well, of the two teams, Senegal has really found more of the space in the attacking third than Ecuador has, but they have nothing to show for it.
And that's the problem, because you can look pretty and create chances, but if you're not scoring, in the end, that will leave you out, because there is an advantage, as we talked about, for this Ecuador team, and they're playing to that. They understand that Senegal's going to have to push, and as the game goes on, they're going to push more and more, and that will leave spaces in behind, especially as you see Koulibaly going forward.
There's a dangerous ball in. Two players collide. And the referee's pointed to the spot. Incapié disagrees. There was a collision of two players. And the referee, the French referee, Turpin, pointed to the penalty spot.
Well, let's take a look at this. Ismaila Sarr comes in, and there's the contact. That's a penalty. Incapié comes in. There's the touch beyond. He comes in and runs right into the player. If you overcommit and put yourself into a dangerous position as a defender and do not win that ball inside the box, you are going to get called for a penalty. So there shouldn't be an argument here. Incapié doesn't like it, but that's a foul for me. That's a penalty for me.
Let's get our rules analyst, Mark Clattenburg. Mark, what did you see?
Yeah, I fully agree with that. Once the attacker gets a touch on the ball, the defender does not touch the ball. There is a collision, and it's a foul. So simple. The referee is in a very good position. I'm sure that the VAR, seeing the angles that we've got, will agree with the referee's original decision, and it will stay with the penalty.
Thank you, Mark. Let's see who's going to take this penalty for Senegal. Cisse knows how important this is. This is a game changer. Ismaila Sarr will be the one to take it. 50 appearances, 10 goals. Right near the end of the half. Sarr versus Galindez. So has to wait a little longer for this whistle. Sarr steps up slowly. Sarr, shot, goal! Senegal leads!
Well, Aliou Cisse was talking about from the first match he wanted more from his players, and he called out Ismaila Sarr as one of them that he needed more from. He creates the penalty and then steps up and finishes it off. He just gives a glance over here, the hesitation, freezes Galindez right there. Nothing that Galindez can do. He's stuck on the spot, and he just places it home, packs it in neatly into the corner, and lets Senegal celebrate.
Penalty kick takers are now 9 for 12 in this World Cup. That's a huge goal for him. It's a huge goal for Senegal, and Ecuador probably feels a bit undone here, conceding in the end when a 0-0 draw would get him through.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden, you're going to see a switch in tactics, because now all of a sudden the weight has shifted onto Ecuador. Now they have to try to get back into this match, and you can see it right here. The long ball's coming. They're going to push to try to go forward.
Second straight game, Ecuador has conceded first. Second straight game, Senegal has scored first. We're going to get 6 minutes of stoppage time. So it's a significant number due to the couple of injuries that we saw in the opening half. Senegal needs to close this half out, though, with this lead. They can't concede here.
Yeah, that's probably the most important thing, is we're talking about getting towards the end of this half. You want to make sure that you go in at halftime just with a bit of confidence, and getting the goal, of course, is going to give confidence, but if you can continue to play well, you'll be feeling good.
Senegal looking for maybe more here towards the end. They've got some numbers forward. Into the box it comes. It falls. Juggled. Ndiaye. And he'll get a corner out of it. Thought he might have had more. He's been effective.
Ndiaye has been effective. Ndiaye has been dangerous. And it's little plays like this, the little skills, a little trickery. Pulls it on. Forces Estupinian to commit one way. It's a little bit of a desperation lunge. That saves that shot from being on target. So he's putting the defenders on their heels. That's what you want from your first-time starter, you know, when he comes in, to have an effect on the game.
Idrissa Gueye will take this corner. It's club side Everton. He'll send it out. It's gonna almost come right back to him. It does go out. Should be a throw-in for Senegal. They're managing this clock here in the end. We're almost halfway through with first half stoppage time. Sabali with a throw-in. And now tries to get it back. It's going to go out. This time it's a goal kick. And a little something there in the end. In the other game in Group A, Netherlands are still up by a 1-0 scoreline, and got to keep your head here. Both teams don't want to give the opposition anything, and certainly stay away from cards, especially red.
Yeah, that's probably the most important. And getting yourself in confrontations is the last thing you want to do, especially when you've just scored a goal. You're feeling good. You want to go into halftime. You can't afford to be drawn into any confrontations here. You see here, Sabali gets pushed from behind, and this is Inter Valencia just trying to instigate. He comes in and pushes, and watch, Valencia kind of has his leg out. He gives a whole lot of extra and goes down trying to draw some type of card or reaction from the referee.
Valencia's fine. For somebody that's had 2 knee issues, you know, one on each side, he's running pretty well. Great player. Great player. And they're going to need him to come back in this game. Because, as you said, everything pretty much runs through him.
Yeah, and you can see with Ecuador taking the goal and then pushing a little bit more, Valencia is going to be, I think, a little bit more dynamic on front. He isn't going to just be sitting on that left side. You're going to get a little bit more freedom from him. He's going to be pushing left, right, central, trying to get on the ball. And that's what you want from a striker. You want that star player to try to get on the ball, be active within the match.
Senegal pushing forward down that right side. Ndiaye leaves it. Sabali just missed the target. Sarr was up there. Be a throw in for Ecuador. First half nearly done. That throw in. Senegal will keep it. They've got a player down. Play continuing. Gaze pass to the left. Now inside towards the box. It's going to go out for a Galinda's goal kick. But it's Sarr who's down. Right near the end of the half. the goal scorer is down after this.
And this probably isn't a player that you want to lose. It's just a little bit of body contact, really, with an open leg. You're going to see how that affects Sarr.
Clearance by Galindez. Diallo. Can't hear the whistle, but the body language says first half is over. Sarr with a huge goal converts a penalty kick in the 44th minute to give Senegal the lead. Senegal must win this to advance to the round of 16. All Ecuador needs is a draw, but right now Ecuador heads to the locker room down by a goal. That's it for the first half. Senegal 1, Ecuador no score.
sitting with 2 in the back when they play to get forward.
And Tapier's pass is short. Ecuador with it. Cifuentes sends it low. No rebound there. Mendy keeps it in front of him. Cifuentes, very good player. Might be transferred somewhere during this offseason.
And here's a look at just seeing, as a defensive midfielder, he's going to be pushing up a little bit higher than usual. And that's part of that risk we talked about. Cifuentes stepping up into the area, getting into attacking positions. The risk is, for Ecuador, is 2 in the back instead of 3.
Yeah. Now
that leaves them a little bit susceptible on the counterattack if Senegal can take advantage of it.
Senegal leading by a 1-0 score on the Sarr penalty kick. If this result stands, Senegal would end up in 2nd place, advancing out of Group A to the round of 16. That was a takedown on that far side, but no whistle. And now the referee's coming over.
Cease needs to be very careful here. He's had a few fouls in a row. He's had some fouls in the first half. Been involved in a few of those confrontations. He's probably on the referee's radar.
Free kick from long distance for Ecuador. Into the box it comes. Mendy changed his mind about coming out. In the corner, that's a jersey tug and a half. Foul on Ecuador. We talked about what Ecuador has to do. What does Senegal have to do to keep this lead or even extend it for that matter?
Well, I think for this Senegal side, it really is doing a little bit what Ecuador is doing in the first half, but you've got to absorb some of the pressure. You know it's coming. It's going to come. They're going to push numbers forward. That's what those substitutions are all about. So can you break out quickly? Can you get the ball up top? Can he hold that ball? Can he connect with players that are coming in late to join into the attack, like Sarr, especially on that left side?
Second half is just minutes old here. Senegal's on top. Netherlands leading Qatar in the other game that kicked off simultaneous. That's a 2-0 score. Plata, that's picked off. That other game kicked off earlier because of probably less stoppage time. So they're about 5 minutes ahead of us, we're told.
Now this is also just a little bit of a look. We're a little bit sloppy from some of the players right now, and that just could be a little bit of nerves. 45 minutes left to determine your future within this World Cup. Sometimes that's the problem with halftime, JP. You can start thinking too much.
Sarr lost the ball there, but then it was taken over again by Senegal. Intended for Dia. Push back to goal. Galindez is there. Up for Estrada. Didn't work. Again, it's easier said than done, but they have to find Valencia. He's their game breaker.
Well, that's going to be very difficult when he's being followed all over the field. Cease is going from one player to the other, whoever drops underneath. And they're really shutting it down.
Plata. Preciado. Deflected in front. Cleared right in front of Senegal's coach, Cisse.
That play from Preciado, he was looking only for Valencia, and that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to pull it back to the top of the 18 where Valencia had slowed down his run and was looking for the pullback to try to get that shot on goal.
Valencia slides it over on the left. Senegal with 12 shots in this game, 4 of them on target. They continue to put up big numbers offensively in terms of those chances. Felix Torres. Preciado. Deflected out, throw in for Ecuador. Long one into the box. That was Koulibaly winning it, as he wins most of those. Brought down into the middle. Fuentes pass. Plata. Missed his man. He's looking for Valencia. And the longer this game goes and the longer there's a 0 for Ecuador, the more they'll look for Valencia.
All eyes on Valencia. You know, every player that's looking up and trying to get forward, their first look or first thought is to, okay, where's Valencia? Can we get the ball to him? We've seen the last couple of chances probably being forced in to Valencia's feet when there's no need.
Has to win that game. A draw does them no good. Iran can advance so with a draw.
Valencia's having a tough time getting a hold of the ball. That's a few times it's come into his feet. He hasn't been able to really bring the ball down into space.
Ecuador trying to go long. Mendy saw it and grabs it in the end. Got to play smart. Can't get caught, especially on a counter. Risk reward here, I would think, at this point for Senegal. The game is theirs right now, but there's so much time left.
Yeah, plenty of time left, and you're playing against a dangerous side that can create chances. So you don't want to sit back too much and allow Ecuador to establish a rhythm and establish dominance within the play. You do that, you can find yourself just being bunkered down.
Up the middle it comes. Plata pushing it back. Torres. Cifuentes. Preciado. Incapie. Senegal are back in a nice defensive shape at the moment. And Ecuador is finding it difficult to break them down. Now the switch needed to be wider. On Plata.
Senegal is effectively playing in at times a 5-4-1, and then they'll break out when necessary, but it's just dropping those numbers back into good defensive positions, closing down all the passing lanes, and trying to force Ecuador to find long balls over the top or deep balls in that they feel that they can contest and win.
Sarmiento to the left, slowing it down. It's pushed wide, that time by Caicedo. Into the box, headed down wide. But a chance there, and it shows the danger on those crosses.
And this is a decent ball in coming from Esteban. See, this one is actually pulled back. You can see all the defenders of Senegal have gone up, just outside the 6. That gets pulled back to the 12. And that's what it's about for Ecuador. You got to find the space. You got to find the area, as Senegal is dropping so many players back into good defensive positions.
58th minute here. Senegal with a 1-0 lead. In the other game, it's 61st minute. And it's a 2-0 Netherlands lead over Qatar, which would give them the group if these results stand. And Senegal would advance as the second-place team in Group A. You can barely hear that whistle. When play resumes, it's Ecuador's ball. '59th minute. Switch to the opposite side. Cut back in Capie. Pushed forward by Torres. Preciado tackled out. Throw in Ecuador.
Not a clean start to this second half so far for either team. Maybe the energy level's gone up a little bit. better defending. So it's just been a little bit shaky, I think, on both sides.
Ball falls outside of the box. And there was contact there. Foul on Ecuador. President of FIFA, Gianni Infantino, watching this one almost at the hour mark. It's easy to get to all of these games here because the 8 stadiums are within miles of each other.
Yeah, it's pretty close. I mean, we've been to quite a few of the stadiums.
Yeah.
You know, we're pretty centrally located. I think, what, maybe 40 minutes has been the farthest?
That's it.
If that.
That's with heavy traffic. The Gay pass. He'll settle it. Senegal has not had much of the ball here in the second half, and they're going to need some of it. Otherwise, they're defending a long, long time against a good attacking side. Sarr's the player down.
And this is Sarr receiving the ball, and it's just that little clip from behind from Preciado. It's a very I can't even explain this half, really, where it's just no one's established any rhythm. You're not seeing, it's no more than like 2 or 3 passes and there's a foul or the ball's misstrapped or there's a turnover. Someone's really got to get a hold of this. You know, one of these teams got to find somebody that can get a hold of it and establish a rhythm within the match.
Got about another half an hour to go. Jacobs or Gay to take it. It's Gay, curling ball in. Deflected out. Kept moving by Cifuentes. And now it's Estupinian. Slightly behind Sarmiento. Sent all the way back towards Galindez. Senegal have a lot of players warming up on the sideline. They have yet to make a change. Ecuador made 2 changes at the half, bringing on Cifuentes and Sarmiento. And Capier. Estupinian lost it. Senegal on the ball. Can they make something happen? Sarr, but the flag goes up. Offside, Senegal.
That's the first time we saw a bit of a high press come from Senegal, where one player goes, and that's the signal to the rest of the team to go. And there we saw various players moving up and pressing.
It's Jokaev Reasco getting some last-minute instructions. So he appears to be the first sub that's going to be put in. First sub for Senegal. Down this left side, it's Sarr advancing. He gets plowed over. Foul is on Cifuentes. Rumors of a transfer for Cifuentes. A lot of interest from him in European clubs. Why not? He's a midfielder. 7 goals, 7 assists. It's a good season in Major League Soccer and won an MLS Cup.
It's not a bad showing for the year.
Take it. Jacobs is ready. Puts one up for grabs. And it's finally cleared out. Pop Gay will settle. Savali moving it right. Back in the Senegal half to goal. Player down for Ecuador. Didn't see how that one happened. Following the ball, and now just cleared out. Plata's the player that's down. And now we're going to see the change, and it's going to be Pate Cis who will come out. Estrada is the player that's going to be coming out for Reasco. So that's 3 changes made. I thought Senegal was going to make a switch. It's going to be a throw-in. So 3 changes made for Ecuador, none so far for Senegal. 2-0 is still the score in the 68th minute of the Netherlands game. So those are the live standings. Netherlands would play the second place team from Group B. Senegal would take on the first place team. Could be the US. Could be somebody else. Long throw-in, left side. Assert. He's going to be cut off and cleared out. 65th minute. If this result stands, Senegal will be advancing. That foul goes against Ecuador.
As Koulibaly gets barreled over on this one. Uriasco just comes in. He's not even playing the ball, but actually just leans into Koulibaly. Just knocks him down.
First name, Djorkaeff, named after the great Yuri Djorkaeff, the famous French star. Here's Ecuador on the break. Can they make something happen? Numbers are going forward now, 5-6 on the attack as Senegal retreats. Cifuentes, Preciado, going short. It's a late whistle, but it should be a foul on Gay. He's on a yellow, and he's going to miss the next one, assuming there is a next one here. That one, I believe he could have avoided.
Yeah, there was no need here. He tries to cut it in. He takes a poor angle to the ball, and instead of stepping to the ball, steps into the player. And you can see he makes that contact across the face, and yeah, just not a smart move. Got to be thinking as well, knowing that you're sitting on a yellow. Now you've picked up, you know, a yellow within this match. So if there is another one, we won't be seeing him play.
67th minute. There's a free kick here for Ecuador. Plata curling went in, it's low, and that was cleared out. Corner, Ecuador. Plata will take it. Went to the middle, headed down, and it's tied. Huge goal for Ecuador. Moises Caicedo's claiming it. All goals subject to review. So we'll wait and see if this one stands. But the importance of set pieces again, Kobe.
I think there's someone in the studio that always talks about set pieces.
Was that maybe Alexi? Maybe?
Yeah.
Just guessing.
And this is why, because they can just change a match. And off of this corner, it's redirected. And yeah, Caicedo is at the far post. He's actually backing up from that central position. You can see him here. He's wide open. Poor defending. Poor defending by Senegal. Just allowing a man to be wide open and free. The redirected header, the flick on finds Caicedo at that back post. He's onside because there's someone sitting on that near post. It's goal, 1-1. Now Ecuador sits in the fantastic position with even less time than before. So now Guess
Game
what,
on.
JP?
Game on.
Tactics switch again.
Yep. So, on that far side, it's picked up by Estupiñán, and then it's lost there. Senegal now has to change things up because now they need a goal. This result would make Ecuador advance as the second-place team out of this group.
Well, one thing to remember about Ecuador is they led in their comfortable qualifying on set-piece goals, where they had 7 through the qualifying process. And, hey, comes to fruition here within the World Cup. They have to be happy about that.
So the goals tonight, a penalty kick for Senegal off of a corner kick for Ecuador. Nothing during the run of play, at least not yet. Free kick, Senegal. Gay will put one up there. It deflects, shot, goal! Koulibaly! About 2 minutes after conceding a goal, the captain gets one back for his country.
Well, what do they say, JP? Whatever you can do, I can do better. And I tell you, Koulibaly, as captain, does what's necessary and keeps his team back into this match. It's a poor clearance, and I believe this comes off of Valencia. And we'll see it right here. Yeah, he redirects it right into the path of Koulibaly. First time into the back of the net. Because of the pace of this, so quickly you can see that Galindez is actually shifting over to where that ball could be. As there's contact, it comes back and finds the net.
That should be his first ever international goal. It's one to remember. Will that be enough? We've seen 2 goals, Colby, in about 2 minutes' time. And the emotions in the building have changed.
Emotions have changed. Tactics have changed. I mean, and that one is... Ecuador's got to make sure that it's not a backbreaker, because once you get a goal and then you give one up right after the fact, it's so tough mentally to get over.
Well, he's a guy that usually prevents goals from happening, not a goal scorer. His first ever international goal could be one to remember for a lifetime if this result stands. Head-to-head contact, so play is obviously stopped. What a big moment for the captain of this team. You've heard the saying before, Colby, whenever you score a goal, you seem to be very vulnerable after that. When emotions get high, you think you got one, you're in the driver's seat, and then boom.
Yeah, you let up for a second.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. And when you let up, you know, at this level, teams will punish you. And that's exactly what happened to Ecuador on this one, where Senegal came back and punished them for a momentary lapse.
See a couple of subs up for Senegal.
And this is, the ball goes up, and look, even though the ball goes over your head, you still have to be aware of where your man is. And Koulibaly is just allowed to go beyond, and he's by himself. I think it was actually Caicedo's man, where Caicedo lets him go as he's watching the ball.
2 subs we see up are Nampalys Mendy and Bamba Dieng. Dieng scored a goal as a sub in the Qatar game. Waiting to see if these changes are made. These Senegal fans were stunned, Colby, when the goal was given up to Caicedo. Ecuador fans roaring with approval, and then a couple minutes later, the difference.
Highs and lows, JP.
Yep.
That's the nature of this game.
Tough to be a fan of the World Cup. Pate Cease is coming out. That's one of the changes. Waiting on the numbers. Let's see who else is coming out. There are the two coming in. And then he came on, I think, too early there. Didn't have permission yet. Now he's going. And Indai, who played a very strong game in maybe an understated role, is coming out. Got the job done. So two changes made there for Senegal, and Kobe, a good time to get some fresh legs in there.
Yeah, I think Mendy's really going to help in that central area, help on the defensive side, help Senegal kind of shut things down a little bit more, and then you get some fresh legs with Yang up top. And when we've seen Yang before and what he can do, so it's about his pace, his speed, and really, JP, it's about fresh legs at this moment in the match, trying to see if you can see out the game with approximately 16 and whatever extra time is left.
Official time of the goal on Caicedo was 67th minute, 70th for Koulibaly. So we're told 2 minutes 32 seconds between goals. We've seen goals in bunches at this World Cup yesterday, right? Ghana had a couple within 3 minutes in their comeback. The ball comes back the other way. Here is Ecuador deep in their own half. Can they come back a second time? Remember, all they need is the one. A draw gets them through.
Yeah, Ecuador's leaving 3 high. A 4th is joining in. The 2 outside backs are joining in. So they're really pushing and taking a risk where they're going to be attacking with 5. And then probably those next line coming in with another 3.
4.
Well, this is a ball all the way to the far post, and this is that second line coming in here. It's a header that just goes right across the face, and Plata has a chance. Gets it to that left foot, but just isn't able to get the power on it. And you would think maybe it's that little bit of a tug. It's just enough to throw him off of that shot to get the power that he wants.
77th minute. It is Senegal on top. A result that can get them through to the next round. Netherlands still leading in their game by a 2-0 score. Sarr, good run, went down. Not going to get that call. He's staying down.
It's a good touch here from Sarr. Puts him beyond the defender. A lot of touch, a lot of pushing and stuff here, but I don't think enough for a penalty. You can see the grabbing here. Preciado tries to get in. There's a little bit of a tug. I think he mainly stumbles, though, and then ends up going down. Not sure how. It's a corner kick.
Senegal will take their time. 78th minute. We're at the point now where they have to think about managing this game. Jacobs for the corner. An outswinger. Missed everybody. It's headed out by Ecuador.
Well, that's the cardinal sin. You know, off of a corner, you're supposed to be able to beat that first man. You have to get it over the first man out there. And Jakob just too low. Not enough power on it.
I'll have another try at it. Second straight corner for Senegal. Jacobs is ready. And then finally cleared out. Senegal is on the chase. They recover. Back to Mendy. Torres. Ecuador needs a goal or their World Cup dream ends tonight. Mendy. Inside the circle. now the desperation has to pick up for Ecuador. The referee's looking but not calling anything there. On that right side, Senegal with numbers pushing forward into the middle. Okay. Sarr. Sarr was stripped of the ball by Plata. Turns out to be a decent ball. That's picked off. Settled. Mendy. The flick. Sliced out. Later today, final matches in Group B. Right after this, England, Wales on FS1, Iran, USA on Fox. Coverage starts immediately following the conclusion of this match. USA advancing with a win. Iran would advance with a draw. Cifuentes. 81st minute. If England stays in first place, this is the team, Senegal, that they'll be facing in a round of 16. Ball played in. Missed one target. Flicked ahead. And here, if you're Senegal, when in doubt, clear it out. Can't make a mistake in your own end.
Yeah, that's probably the smartest move. You got to play safe here. You know that the pressure is going to be coming. The numbers from Ecuador are they got at least 5, sometimes 6 or 7 joining into the attack. They're going to start launching balls into the area, so you've got to be able to clear them out. But the next step after that is, can you get someone to win that second ball? That's the next most important thing, and that will allow you to break out and put a little pressure on Ecuador.
Yeah, you got to know in the back of your mind that if you concede one here, you'll have very little time to get another goal.
Yeah, you're at the point now, you're in the 80-plus minutes. So tactically, they're thinking, can we see the game out now? And this is something that you do in trainings all the time. You go 10 minutes, okay, we're up a goal. How do we play? Can we see it through? This is a standard training sessions for players at every level.
The other game, Kobe, 85th minute. Netherlands still up, but only by a 2-0 score. So Qatar has given them a decent run in that game, apparently. Mendy squaring it. Took a while to get there, but it did get there. Now a chance here. Shot taken that was wide. That would have been a game ender had Dia scored.
Koulibaly, Dia right here. Nice turn. Just using his body and just rides the tackle.
Down this right flank. Valencia. And that's going to go out. Remember, we said he had scored the last 6 goals for Ecuador, but Caicedo ended that streak, so still no one in World Cup history has scored 7 straight at a World Cup. He was one of 4 players to get to 6. Well, this game is still hanging in the balance. We knew before this could go either way. You could see both teams certainly winning this game. Expected it to be close, though, and close it's been.
Yeah, well, I think that's a testament to what we said, where the score line went back and forth, back and forth.
Jackson Perozo is being spoken to from Gustavo Alfaro, so he appears to be the next sub coming in. Ball is played back dangerously. The referee's not calling that foul. Much to the dismay of Valencia and Ecuador.
Let's take a look at this. This is a good header from Valencia, and he's starting to get sandwiched here. And yeah, that's a dive. You know, he's trying to draw the referee in here. But the referee isn't. He's not buying it. Not buying it at all.
Experienced referee. In the second World Cup, done the last 2 Euros as well.
You got to say Valencia's lucky there for. I mean, that's simulation.
Yeah. Jackson Brozo is now up by the fourth official. Can Senegal close it out? They're in the 85th minute, in the driver's seat at the moment. Ball is turned over. Cifuentes leaves it. He left it for Caicedo. Push from behind there is called. And the change is going to be made with Jackson Porozo replacing Angelo Preciado. Fourth change made for Ecuador. Stoppage time will be a factor in this one. Ecuador is hoping for a big number. May not be as big as they would hope for. Probably won't be. Foul there. Free kick here. And the way these goals have come tonight on set pieces, try not to foul if you can.
Yeah, try not to foul, and probably more importantly, be aware of where your man is inside the box. We know that these balls are going to be dropped right on top of the goalkeeper trying to find someone, but it hasn't been, off of these set pieces, it hasn't been the first ball that has been the killer. It's been the second ball of ball watching going, oh, there's the header, but then, oh, wait a second, it goes to somebody else. It's going to your player. So you've got to not only watch who gets the first header, but pay attention to where the ball is landing. That second ball is the most important.
Caicedo and Koulibaly agree with you. Ball is played up. Man down in the box, and the foul is on Ecuador. What's this like, Kobe, as a player? You've come this far, you know you've got minutes left and then stoppage time. Mentally, what's it like? Physically, I can imagine. Mentally,
on which side are you talking about?
Senegal. Senegal.
For either side right now, it's nerve-wracking. I can tell you right now, for Senegal, that clock isn't going fast enough. It seems like it's forever. They're probably staring at it nonstop, just going, when is it going to wind down or count up to where it needs to be? And for Ecuador, it seems like it's the fastest thing in the world.
In for Valencia. Can he come up with another moment of magic? Ball is played behind. It allows Mendy to come up with it and give it a ride upfield. Foul was drawn. Senegal will take their time with this next free kick.
This is good work here. A little bit of a slip, but Yang just still gets up, gets his body in between the ball and the defender, takes the foul, and that takes those precious seconds off the clock for Senegal.
Netherlands are still up 2-0. Their game is in stoppage time, and this is the way the standings will look if it ends this way. Netherlands first place, Senegal second, Ecuador and Qatar out. Qatar has already been eliminated with one game to go. Here's a chance from distance, bobbled. That's the first time really that Galindez has spilled one tonight, but it didn't cost him. Getting closer to 90 minutes. Senegal leading in a game that they had to win, 2-1. Torres. Over the top. Wanted Plata. That's cleared. Cifuentes. Porozo. Torres. Capie. That left foot. It could be trouble, but it's swept away by Koulibaly. Throw in Ecuador. Caicedo played it short. Now it's coming all the way across to Torres. Deflected ball. Controlled now by Ecuador. Capie. Got it to the left. Cross is coming in. Headed up by Sarmiento, but right to goal, and Mendy will make an easy and safe play as we're in the 90th minute.
Yeah, the standard catch and fall from the goalkeepers when they want to waste time. Just takes a few extra seconds off the clock. Everything matters. 4 or 5 seconds.
Long ball to Sarr. Headed out. No rush on these throw-ins.
No, this is the slow stroll to every single ball.
Jacobs. Puts one up. He's going to have another go at it. It was cleared up by Ecuador. Waiting for the stoppage time signal. We're almost at 90 minutes. Jacobs. Good, he just sliced that ball. We've hit 90. 6 minutes added on in stoppage time. The other game with the Netherlands and Qatar is close to the finish, with the Dutch up 2-0. They also had 6 minutes of stoppage time, but they're about 5 minutes, we were told, ahead of us. That's off Torres. Dieng was after it. Comes all the way back to Savali. Oh, he gave it away. Stupinian. Into the box, that's blocked. It falls. Porozo couldn't find it. 2 players down. Foul on Porozo.
Well, this is it. This is where you have to take risks. You're sitting about 5 minutes left. I expect for Ecuador, it's got to be a little bit more of that sense of urgency of not just knocking balls long and getting up and challenging, you know, and winning that second ball, trying to get balls into the area and just trying to create a little bit of chaos in that final third.
Pushed wide on that left side. Well wide of Mendy. Throw in, Ecuador. Cifuentes. Short throw in. Wanted to cross that. He'll get a corner. It's the second one. Corners have been few and far in between. Almost 2 minutes gone in stoppage time. I've been expected 6.
Let's see how the marking goes on this corner. And it looks like it's a bit of a zone, you know, for Senegal. You know, it's always interesting because when you play in the zone like this, you never know which players is yours, which one you're going to step to.
To the back post, Mendy swatted it away. Corner from the other side.
And this one's going right towards Caicedo at that back post once again. Mendy gets up, sees it out. Probably the smartest thing to do in that situation. Don't even try to catch it.
Galindez. At some point, he's going to go forward on one of these.
I've got to be thinking about bringing the keeper at some point.
Played in, that's headed away. It could be recycled. Nope, it's going to be a throw-in, though, for Ecuador. Galindez is still just shy of the arc in the center of the field.
And we've got about 3 minutes left.
Ball comes back. Here's Ecuador into the box, headed down and then flicked away. Galindez will play it forward. We welcome those who are just watching on Fox. The Netherlands defeat Qatar. So the Netherlands have won Group A. They'll take on the second place team in Group B in the round of 16. Ball played long. Ecuador needing a goal or their World Cup dream will end tonight. Pushed wide on the left side. A couple of minutes or so left. Into the box. Flicked down and wide and out.
And a couple players going down in the box for Ecuador.
It's desperation time now, isn't it?
Yeah, this ball gets put in. No, I don't see anything there from that angle.
Cisse is going to be coming in, replacing Dia. So that'll be the change, and it is nowhere near. Well, now I just saw Sar walking by, but it's just to congratulate. It is going to be Dia who's leaving. Caicedo's helping him off, and Dia's saying, "I don't need help." Or words to that effect. So it's not a like-for-like swap at all. It's a forward coming out, obviously, for a big defender to try to close it out.
Yeah, well, at the end of the game, when you're just launching, Ecuador's going to be launching the balls into the box. Well, you have that big defender in the back that can help win the headers and just clear it out. It's just a tactical move. Very smart.
About a minute to go. If this result stands, Senegal's advancing to the round of 16. Comes all the way back to goal. There's Galindez. Long strike. Headed once. Sar heads it forward. Tries to find Dieng. Ecuador back on the ball. About a half a minute left. Plata. Edge of the box. Straight up it comes. An awkward kick. Blocked. Chase for the ball. With time running out, it's Caicedo. Hincapié on the dribble. Still going. Lays it off. Plata. Played long into the box. Headed once. 6 minutes. There's two players down, actually. One there and one outside the penalty area.
Yeah, the one we're looking at there, Sabali, is down. He went up for the header. Was tripped up. I mean, but this has got to be it, maybe. I mean, there's not a whole lot of time left. You're imagining after this kick that the whistle's going to be blown pretty soon.
Waiting on the final whistle from Clement Turpin, which could come after this kick. Set long. Senegal is advancing. They didn't get past the group stage in 2018. They're advancing now. The Netherlands, though, will win the group. The game-winning goal came from the captain. His first ever international goal. Koulibaly is the star of the night for Senegal. They go forward with a 2-1 win versus Ecuador, who are eliminated tonight.